Hey, Brock, I've been dealing with a bit of challenging situation lately. My husband seems to have a lot of trust issues, especially when it comes to me talking to other men, whether it's his friends, my male coworkers, or even my male family members. He gets insecure, and it's making me feel suffocated. I'm always on edge whenever I have to interact with men around him, and it's starting to take a toll on my mental health. How can I help him trust me more and feel secure in our relationship without sacrificing my own sense of freedom and independence? And it's signed, Thank You, Anonymous.
All right, Anonymous, thank you so much for writing this in. My knee-jerk reaction to this was, how do you get married to somebody who has trust issues?
Sure.
That is one of the most beautiful benefits of marriage, is that you're supposed to have somebody that you can tell your most intimate and darkest secrets with. That is your ride or die. There shouldn't be any trust problems. Everything should be perfectly clear. I'm kind of like, how did you get to this point where surely there were patterns? Surely
right. Maybe this is something that's developed.
I mean, if it's something that just recently developed, we'll go with that.
Well, that's kind of where I was leading.
You think like he just now started to do it?
Now all of a sudden it seems to be becoming an issue. I don't know.
So, well, then let's go with it's just now an issue. Usually there's something that happened that broke a pattern of trust.
Sure.
And without knowing what that thing is, that behavior, that thing, maybe he saw one of his friends, maybe one of his friends said something. I don't really know. Without seeing that part of the story, best I'm going to be able to do is give you a couple of tips on how to rebuild the trust so that you are able to have that healthy and beautiful marriage that's full of transparency and one that's more mentally healthy for you. And it wasn't something that was occurring before the marriage. I was saying that marriage is one of those dynamics where there shouldn't be any trust issues. That's the person that is your ride or die. Like you made a vow for closeness, for clarity. That's one of the most beautiful things about marriage is that's what that person is supposed to share with you. And when you don't have that, where maybe you don't feel like you can trust your partner, or you're experiencing that your partner isn't really trusting you, it's really, really devastating. And no one wants to be in a relationship where you're not trusted, where trust is absent. Yeah. Without having him writing in, without having him right here for me to ask him, what's going on, man? Why aren't you trusting your wife? It's Anonymous. It's your job to do it yourself. You're going to have some really open communication. Whenever these types of scenarios happen, whenever you're around members of the opposite sex, whether it's his friends, whether it's your coworkers, you need to be asking questions like, what is it about me being around other men that makes you uncomfortable? What is your biggest fear? Where is that coming from? What does that look like? How long have you felt like this? Only during those types of dialogues are you going to be able to go down the rabbit holes of his insecurities. Now, I know it's not your job to heal your partner. They are supposed to be able to dissect their issues and seek that healing process, maybe with a mental health professional. But you're going to have to manage this yourself at the moment. You're going to have to find out what it is that is triggering him. Maybe it's the way that you're being positive. Sometimes seeing our partner just be their most beautiful self, being happy, being positive, maybe it looks a little too flirty to him. Ask him what is it that's making him really uncomfortable. And you need to come to this whole situation with a mind full of empathy. Try not to be harsh or critical or judgmental. Try not to dismiss his feelings by saying things like, "Oh, you're just overreacting. Oh, you're being silly, or you're being crazy." And this goes for men and women. Yeah. This isn't just, I'm not coming from just one side. Try not to dismiss the way that your partner is feeling, because their feelings are valid. You need to validate the way that he's feeling in this situation. And here's the hardest part. You need to be willing to listen to what he has to say. These are going to be some questions to which the answers might make you really uncomfortable. And you're going to have to do your best to exercise your emotional IQ at this time. Let him actually get out everything that he has to say. And if he denies, I don't really have an issue, you need to continue probing. Create a safe space for him to be able to communicate, because if this is something that's actually happening, it's not just you're making it up saying that he's actually getting jealous. If it's a real thing, if he's really accusing you of maybe behaving incorrectly, ask him how would it make him feel more respected. And I do use that word very intentionally. The number one thing that men want in a relationship is respect. We need to feel respect in order to feel loved. And if we don't feel like our partner is respecting us, we can't feel loved. Do your very best to answer or to ask questions, probing questions, have deep communication, show a lot of empathy, show the empathy and be willing to listen to what it is that he has to say and validate his answers.
And there might be a moment of reflection a little bit, self-reflection too. Something tells me if she's doing something that is constantly making him nervous, unless it is just as innocent of just hanging out or whatever, maybe there's something there that she is doing that's just kind of creating that little bit of doubt.
Sure.
And maybe that's something that she can reflect on and think about and talk about. Or maybe she doesn't know, and that's what that conversation needs to be.
Sure. And the last thing you want is to feel suffocated in a relationship. And I'll give everybody kind of an example of something that I do personally in my life to make sure my wife feels really good about me being out with guys or even members of the opposite sex. I'll just be out and I will send a random video of just my surroundings, who I'm with, have everybody say hi real quick. Hey guys, and no one that can see me right now. I'm doing like a little selfie move right here. Hey guys, say hi to Diana real quick. And everyone says hi just so she can see where I am, because that creates transparency. Transparency creates clarity, and clarity creates trust. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that she feels secure, that she doesn't have questions about where I am or who I'm with. That's a little bit of a tip that you might want to utilize if you're out or if you're with people and he's not there. Maybe do something like that so he feels present, but it also shows that you're considering him at the same time.
And there might be something to do with people that if you do have a partner that has a little bit of these issues from past relationships or whatever the cause, usually obviously some type of trauma that they went through. It's actually a nice little tidbit there.
Yep.
Where I am, this is who I'm with.
That's it.
Come and see me if you need to. Well, thank you, Brock, for the advice. Thank you, Anonymous, for writing in. Now it's your turn. You can send in your email. That's Gino, Gino, at WDODradio.com. You can be as anonymous as you like. We answer it on the air here, and Brock will give you some of his advice. You can also check out BrockOlson.com for all the details on everything that Brock offers. That's from matchmaking and everything else that Brock does, the podcast and more. So check out BrockOlson.com. Brock, thanks for the advice. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, Gino. Thank you.